and welcome to another episode of The Demon's Den, your stop for horror, history, stories, and more. I'm your host Hex, and in this episode we will explore the world of haunted weaponry. Of all the cursed items that exist, a haunted weapon makes the most sense. It's a tool only used to end the life of another, usually with malicious intent. And that anguish, hate, fear, confusion, pain, and sorrow that the victim will feel at the end of that weapon would end up imbuing that weapon with its sorrow. I don't know, maybe I watch a lot of anime and movies, but even in real life situations, land has been cursed in the same way, with sorrow, fear, and hate. Today, we'll go over a few haunted weapons that hold a very deep evil. So, let's get into it. The Cursed Sword of King Tutankhamun. The tomb of King Tutankhamun, or King Tut, was filled with treasures, including gold, jewelry, and weapons. One of the weapons found in the tomb was a sword, which is believed to be cursed. The curse of the sword has become a popular legend, and people believe that it caused misfortune, and even death, to those who have come in contact with it. The curse of the sword is said to have originated from an inscription found on the sword's hilt, which reads, "I am the one who can cause great sorrow." According to legend, anybody who touched the sword would be doomed to suffer from death, misfortune, or other bad things. The first person to handle the sword after it was discovered was Howard Carter, the guy who led the excavation team. He later reported that he had seen a cobra in the tomb, which is the symbol of the pharaoh's power, and believed the curse had been activated. Soon after, several members of the excavation team fell ill, and one of them died. The curse continued to claim victims over the years. One of the most famous cases was that of Lord Carnarvon, who had funded the excavation of the tomb. He died shortly after the tomb was opened, and it was widely believed that he had been killed by the curse. However, modern scholars believe that he died from an infected mosquito bite. But where'd that mosquito come from, huh? Mummy mosquito. I don't know, maybe. Other people who have been associated with the curse include Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. You may know him as the author of Sherlock Holmes. He visited the tomb shortly after it was opened, and died later of a heart attack. And the actor who played the mummy in the 1932 film The Mummy, he reportedly died shortly after the film's release. And, of course, Frylock from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. You know, well, if you know, you know. The Wicked Katana. In the world of Japanese swords, the name Masamune is legendary. Regarded as one of the greatest swordsmiths in history, he created some of the finest and most prized swords of all time. This master swordsmith who lived in Japan was known for his skill in crafting swords that were not only sharp and deadly, but also works of art. Along with master swordsman Muramasa Sengo, one sword in particular was crafted, and it's the stuff cursed legends are made out of. The Curse of the Muramasa Katana, the Wicked Katana. Some of these legends about the blade are something straight out of an anime. We'll start with Muramasa Sengo's bloodlust. So, Muramasa had a terrifying bloodlust and rage. He tried to contain it by making the Muramasa sword, hence the name Wicked or Cursed Sword, that would cause an uncontrollable bloodlust. Next is the Mysterious Charm. It's said that the first Muramasa swords were so beautiful that they invoked ambition for power and authority, hence playing with the wielder's minds. Next would be its cursed locations. So the tales of the Muramasa Katana also state that these swords were made in locations that were haunted by ghosts. This, however, was never proved, and they were actually made in a place called Kuwana, I hope I'm saying it right, which is a free trade port city. So, I'm not sure if it's a haunted city, but it's just one of the legends. Next would be the deaths of the Shogunate family. Again, I hope I'm saying that right. The father, grandfather, son, and their heir were all killed with a Muramasa sword. The first two were hacked from shoulder to waist, while their heir was, he supposedly offed himself with a Muramasa sword. Yeah. Next would be the frenzied samurai. So apparently a samurai, he lost his mind using the Muramasa blade. He lost himself in such a frenzy that he killed his friend, and then killed himself. And lastly would be the legend of the knife dealer. A knife dealer got the Muramasa sword. He then engraved his own name on it while removing the symbol of Muramasa on the blade. He then realized that he had killed his wife while having no recollection of what he had just done. The Bell Witch Rifle. This rifle is said to have belonged to John Bell, who was haunted by the Bell Witch in the early 19th century. The rifle is said to have been cursed, and has been associated with strange occurrences. The rifle was just his everyday kind of gun. I believe it was an M1817. That was until he tried to fire it at a dog-like creature that viciously approached him in the forest. He missed the thing, and it ran off. But after that, the haunting inside John Bell's home intensified. First, it was just some moving objects in the home, like maybe an occasional nudge or something just sliding across the counter. Yeah, that quickly turned into full-blown physical attacks. His daughter conversing with people that weren't there, and John Bell conversed with the witch herself. When he asked the witch what it was, it responded, "I am a spirit. I was once very happy, but I have been disturbed and made unhappy." The strongest and most violent attacks were always when John had his rifle nearby. When John had his confrontation with the witch, he grabbed his gun and fired, only to find that it wouldn't. The rifle was nothing but bad luck. Thank you for joining us for another episode of The Demon's Den. Join us next time, where we'll talk about something that not everyone likes to even think about. Until next time, stay safe, lock your doors, and remember, if your silverware starts talking to you, it may be a sign to become a vegetarian.